Hello, everybody. I'm assuming the music is working this time. We've got all the same levels from last time, so I think we're ready to just kind of get going. No reason to wait around. Okay, so last time we were dealing with this guy. We finished the puzzle, though, so we just kind of have to avoid him now. This was the first thing in the game that I didn't feel was a perfect that I didn't feel was super great. There's this this guy creeping around here that has like super hearing, so if we run he'll find us really fast. He's very hard to fight and he doesn't stay dead, so we had to run all over looking at puzzle pieces while he was hunting for us. Okay, I think we're kind of good. I just remember the control real fast. Okay. Oh right, and we had the stick to run. So we're going to the vault, which is over here. Esoteric Spirit says, just wanted to say you're awesome. Thank you, you're awesome. I don't actually know that, and you might be like a huge war criminal or something, I don't know. But I assume you're awesome. Alright, we can look at our journal though for this. So we have the two lines, the cross, and the T. There we go. We made it. Key fashioned from a mysterious stone. Judging from what he said, it's probably something precious.
受け取ってもらえて嬉しい。淡雪の紅玉より削り出して作った君のための鍵だ。
私のために。
その鍵を稲荷像に。
Dodge. That's not fun. Oh, there's two of them. This is draining our sanity really fast.
先ほどの扉は客人を招くためのものだ。だがこちらの扉は聖域へ入ることを許された者にしか開かれない。
私は入っていいの？
もちろんだとも。君を招くために今日がある。まだ少し歩かねばならないが、しばし休もうか。
大丈夫です。
疲れたらすぐに言いなさい。では行こうか。
Yeah, he is good looking. Okay, so we got here by passing out, and I guess we're gonna wake up back in town. Yeah, here we are.
Hinako. しっかりしろ。返事をしろ。
Shikkari, shikkari, shikkari.
よかった。お前は簡単に死ぬようなやつじゃないよな。
シュウはまだ生きてる。
サクコは無事だよな。一体どうなってんだ。街から誰もいなくなってる。これは悪い夢なのか。
どこに行っても化け物しかいない。悪夢以外の何者でもないな。
だとしても幸運だったよ。この世界に残ったのが2人だとして、そのもう一人がお前で嬉しいよ、相棒。
え、リンコは？
俺はあいつに話があるって言われただけで別にその。
リンコは無事なのか？一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか？
悪い。俺も混乱してたみたいだ。あの時はみんなバラバラに逃げた。俺もリンコの姿は見てない。
こんな状況でリンコはどこへ？
自分の家か。行ってみようぜ、相棒。
シュウ？
どうした？早く来ないと置いてくぜ。
He's trying to get his Mac on, and we're like, hey,
しっかりしないと。
is Rinko dead? Like,
とにかくリンコを
you
見
were
つけな
supposed
き
to
ゃ。
be taking care of our other friend.
サクコ、ごめん。もう行かなきゃ。
Yeah, that scene where Sakako died was really sad. She always wanted to run a candy store, so we left her body in the candy store. Looking around all the little doodads. Most of the kanji I can't read, but all of the kana just says stuff that you'd expect, like ice cream and stuff. Where are we going? Can save at the shrine over here. Imagine making moves in the middle of this crap. What's he thinking? Is this the mist? Well, I mean, there is mist, so he would be... I mean, you would forgive him for making that mistake. Also, like, life or death horror situation is kind of a prime opportunity. But you gotta stick the landing. You can't, you can't be losing track of your friends like that. Pinwheel, that's not a collectible. And it's so pretty. Using focus, your sanity will slowly deplete. Yeah, we know that. Uh-huh. Focus doesn't show us anything special. Oh, I see. We can use it on this enemy here. Let's see, we like use the little moon. Okay, that's pretty good. It does eat our sanity, but pretty generous with healing items. Looks like there's two ways we can go. I'm gonna go straight because I'm gonna assume that's where we're gonna find the side path. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know, you gotta shoot your shot, because you might get killed in the next scene. And do you want to die as, like, just a random side character, or do you want to have, like, the tragic, like, oh, we were in love, and now I'm dead? Get some more screen time.
When he said he wanted to lay some pipe, I don't think that's what he meant. Worm emoji.
Yeah, the saying doesn't translate perfectly from Japanese, so I think something got lost in translation. Okay, we can go that way later, but we need to follow Shu right now. And of course, thank you for the dono, Run a Mile Kyle. Oh god. Oh. Got us out there. Okay. We gotta learn their attack patterns. At least on hard mode, it's not a good idea to just spam R1. See what I mean? This is not Elden Ring. To pick up those items again. I'm not totally sure I remember where they are. Okay, I couldn't follow up on that because I was out of stamina. Can you dodge cancel out of the wind-up for that attack? That would be good to know. I guess I could try it. Nope. You're committed. Joke here somewhere about protecting the dolls. I think these dolls are good. We don't I think they don't need any protection. Julius Caesar says, I started and finished Scorn yesterday, and seeing that this is a Silent Hill game, is it supposed to be horror or a Souls-like? It's not really a Souls-like in any sense. It's pretty similar to every other Silent Hill. The combat is a little bit more modernized in that you have like a timed dodge and a timed counter, but that's about it. If you've ever played a Silent Hill game, you do spend the entire game beating things to death with pipes. I've heard some people being like, "Oh, it's so stupid that this is a high school girl and she's engaging in combat, but like she's not disabled. Like, I don't see why she can't swing a pipe." And if you're actually a Silent Hill fan, then you know that Heather in Silent Hill 3 was a complete maniac, and that's one of the Silent Hill games where you do the most violence and have the most capable enemies. Running around with a machine gun. Does it not see us? Yeah, I don't think it knows we're here. Hi. Okay. Ugh. Does the map prevent you walking all the way back up to the parents' house at this point? Let's take a look. That's quite a hike. How would we even do that? We would go through here, and then up north. I think so. Yeah, we can take a look at that. There's usually either something interesting to see when you backtrack in these games, or some loot. What a creepy scarecrow. Oh god, it's wearing a schoolgirl uniform. Kind of like the all the kind of James corpses littering the world in Silent Hill 2. Oh, okay, Julius. I wasn't necessarily saying you were kind of making a bad faith observation about the game. I was just mentioning some stuff I'd seen in the comments. But yeah, these games are... I do not want to fight two of you. I might not have a choice. Oh, wow. Okay, we can run completely out of stamina and then just get stuck. We're gonna head back. Loop around to the right. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to accuse you personally of making a bad faith observation. I had just seen a lot of those. But so when the first Silent Hill came out, it was 1999, and Resident Evil 1 and I think 2 had come out, and they... Yeah, because 2 was 98. Silent Hill was Konami trying to play catch-up with Capcom, and what they decided to do was make a game that was much less of like an action sci-fi game and much more like spiritual, and leaned more into the horror of things. Partly because I think they were not as good, like their team did not have the ability to put out as strong of a combat engine, but they used that as a strength, and so especially in the first couple of Silent Hill games, your characters are not, they feel very clunky to play, even compared to Resident Evil, and it gave the games a much more tense atmosphere, because instead of playing as like a police officer or an army man or something, you're just some dweeb. I wonder if these are infinitely respawning, or if there's like a finite number of them. I think in name's Susanna Mayumi. Oh yeah, we saw this. There was a missing girl. White blouse, long navy skirt, beige neckerchief with black polka dots. Okay, yeah, we gotta go around. Yeah, they're usually, in the older Silent Hill games, infinitely respawning out on the streets, and then finite if you're in like a dungeon. I'm looking for my wife. Yeah, we're looking for Hinako's wife, Rinko. Come on. Okay, yeah, they can't see too well either. Was a stock jar breaking sound effect. There's also I saw a video where somebody said they found a vine boom in the game. which almost seems like you would have to intentionally put a vine boom in a game. Hup. Aw, come on. Cannot go that way. How do we go? Do we go back around through the building? So they're really slow, and they wouldn't be that threatening, except their attacks have such like a huge area they can hit, and they do have some tracking. So even though they're really slow, they can kind of threaten a really wide area, which is interesting design for this game. All right, I'm not sure we can get up because I think I want to say like when we were in this section here, like in this building, we like jumped out a window or something to get on this side, and so I think we're stuck on the south side of this truck situation. Unless there's a way through that I don't just remember. Because I don't see any door markers on these buildings. I think the creature designs are excellent. It's kind of what you'd expect from Silent Hill. You know, a mannequin is not anything super new, but they've done all this stuff with the spider lilies and the weird moss. I like it.
これもうじき壊れるな。
Yeah, my pipe is not looking so good. We have a backup, but I think we want to not be wasting it on enemies that are probably infinitely respawning. Also, the guy in the kind of ghouls in the spirit world that we saw, I don't really know what they're called. They reminded me a lot of like the designs that Christopher Gans's movies did. Especially the first Silent Hill movie. I don't think those movies are very good, but they do look really nice. It was like he perfectly understood the visual aesthetic of Silent Hill, and he's just bad at making movies. But they reminded me of like in the movie there's like the janitor was supposed to be like some kind of a creep at the school, so he had been punished by being like tied up with barbed wire and turned into this kind of crawling around on the floor monster. It's giving eternally tormented sex criminal. Oh yeah, the atmosphere is excellent. I mean, you can feel like you can feel how like muggy this is. It's kind of a humid day today where I am, and yeah, this is very evocative. Oh, the movie. Yes, the movie did have good atmosphere, and I think the use of like that real town with the coal fire was a good pull for the visuals, especially like replacing the snow with ash was pretty interesting. Sybil looked great. Cannot complain about that. zooming through here looking for any loot. Where are we? Okay, we want to go the other way. Yikes.
I haven't been able to catch a stream since one of the Look Outside streams. I've been having to download vids while I work. No internet home frown.
I have the Look Outside streams. I've had all the VODs kind of edited together into a much more watchable playthrough, and then I finished the playthrough a week or two ago, and recorded that just kind of on my own. Alright, and that'll get uploaded with some narration. So kind of like a hybrid of like what I normally do and like a stream VOD. And that'll get uploaded pretty soon here. And of course, thank you for the dono. Yeah, as much as I like making videos, editing videos is not very fun.
また道が
Okay, we can't get around the truck here. Oh yeah, I would never give up on Rat Boy. Rat Boy till the end. I feel like if you give up an arm for like a kid, you're kind of committed at that point. Belt Boy's also very good. He's my other son. Okay, we've got huge gashes in the walls. Oh wow, that was creepy. Did you see that? The Scarecrow was there and now it's gone. Oh, I like that. And now it's back. Okay. There's another one over there. I wonder if they're like guiding us. It'd be funny if that was not an intended effect and it was just like pop in. Do we have any offerings? Don't think we do right now. Okay, and we've got another Omamori. This one is Plum. It increases max stamina. I'm kind of liking the clam, but stamina will also help us avoid enemies, so...
シュウいるか？
なんだ相棒。
今のこの状況、いつまでも宇宙船総ごっこをしていたい。私かお前の夢の中ってことはないよな。
だったら互いの頬をつねり合ってみるか。
いや、自分の方法くらい自分でつねれる。
残念だが夢じゃないみたいだな。
A man whiffed so hard he vanished into the fog. Okay, I was wondering why they were calling each other partner, but it must be because of whatever Space Wars is, this game they're playing. This is in the 60s, so video games haven't been invented yet, but... I'm trying to think of like what... I see you. I'm trying to think of what they could even be talking about. Come on, man, I'm just trying to... Running up on me while I'm trying to cut through the rice paddies.
新しい武器を見つけなきゃ。
I wonder if we need to follow the scarecrows. This might be like a maze or something. I think Aibo is an uncommon enough thing to call your friend that there must be a reason. He's also like stressing a little bit. I kind of get the impression that it's like obviously he's trying to turn their relationship into something more than it is, but I kind of get the impression he's like leaning on the word a little bit for that. Aibo is also what Jigen calls Lupin in Lupin the Third. Because they're partners in crime. I really don't see where people are getting that this is like a Souls-like. It doesn't have like a run-back mechanic. There's no souls. There's no... We can't just call every third-person action game a Souls-like, can we? I no longer recognize my husband. He gets blackout drunk most days now, and when he's drunk he turns violent. I don't think I can keep on living this way, not with his cruelty day after day. Where did the kind man I met when our marriage was being arranged go? My eldest child is only 3 years old, and I have another growing inside me. Life is too hard to keep living, but I am forbidden to die. Mom, Dad, I've always done as you asked, no matter what it was. This will be my first and last selfish act. Please forgive me.
ひどすぎる。こんなのあんまりだ。
We got to get away from this one. And the Dofo show says, I feel like the theme of misogyny is really played out when it comes to horror games with female characters. Yeah, well, try living as a woman in the real world. It's pretty played out there too. Okay, we're cut off now. Oh, this one looks different. Also, I want to push back against that too, because that's always been kind of the central theme of Silent Hill throughout all of its iterations. In Silent Hill 1, you are dealing with a cult that was trying to force a child to give birth to a god. So, you know, right from the jump, you've got themes of misogyny and childbirth and kind of it's dealing a lot with like witchcraft and how we tend to assign a femininity to that sort of thing. You know, the primary villain is a woman. Silent Hill 2, of course, is very, very heavily dealing with violence against a woman, and then with Angela, that expands to kind of women in general. Oh, God. You'll not be able to free yourself from an enemy's grasp if they successfully grab you. When grabbed by an enemy, your health and sanity will drop significantly. Be sure to be aware of your surroundings. If you've chosen story, you will... Okay. Excuse me, I was not familiar with your game. Give me loot. There was no loot. I don't have anything to use for the bleeding.
気持ち悪い。
ひなこか？この気持ち悪いのには触るなよ。毒があるかもしれない。右の庭から回ってこっちに来い。
わかった。
Alright, can we... Oh, I see, we've got a whole other set of items there. I don't get how you come away from a story about a child being forced, like a girl being forced to give birth to a god, and say that misogyny is not involved there. That's just like a fundamental, like, failure to grasp the basic mechanics of the story. It's certainly about other things too. There's a lot of, like, you know, familial legacy and things like that. But those certainly are all, you know, a constant issue. Like, they sort of constantly feed into and are fed into by misogyny. Misogyny is not, oh, I just don't like women for no reason. Misogyny is a sort of species-wide... Oh, I'll leave this a sec.
Hinako! どうした？
でかい化け物が出た。
何？そっちまで行けないんだ。裏に逃げ込め。俺は窓をこじ開ける。
Okay, let's take a second to get our bearings here. Yeah. We've got the storehouse on. Got another pipe. Alright, if you want to say this is Dark Souls, if you want to say this guy looks like he could be like a Kaled monster from Elden Ring or something, sure. I wonder if I need to mess with the well there to get the key. there.
まだだ。もっと回さないと。
Okay. Oh boy, look who showed up. That's not gonna be enough time, is it? Maybe. All right. Little ramune off in the corner there. Oh, hey, he knocked her down. Let's see that part coming. I've got the storehouse key. That part wasn't so good. Okay, we gotta shove this over.
ひなこ、蔵の窓だ。急げ。大丈夫か。
なんとかな。
よかった。純子さんに頼まれたんだ。何があっても
That was rough.
お前を守れってな。
お姉ちゃんが？
ずいぶん前の話さ。さあ、行こうぜ。
行こう。新しい武器を見つけなきゃ。
Okay, so what I was saying there was that misogyny is not I hate women for no reason. Misogyny is a kind of a systemic, as I was saying, species-wide kind of power imbalance that tends to put women in positions where we are kind of objectified or put in places where we're being controlled or abused or, you know, any number of these things. And there's no like one source of it. It can come from your family as like a oh, you have an obligation to have this child, rather, you know, for, oh, you've got to carry on the family and all that. And so that's what was coming across in that letter there. But obviously, there are any number of other themes.
ここで遊んだのいつの頃だっけな。
懐かしいね、ここ。幼い頃、この辺りで迷ってワンワン泣いた記憶がある。
お前が泣くとこが想像できないぜ。
もうずいぶん長いこと泣いた記憶がない。
お前は何でも我慢して心に溜め込む悪い癖があるからな。春にはメダカやオタマジャクシ捕まえたっけ。水が気持ちよかったな。ほら。田んぼで遊んで泥だらけになって怒られたこともあったっけ。
こんな状況なのに懐かしい思い出ばかり思い出す。
今ではどれも懐かしいな。辛くなったらいつでも泣けよ。俺が絶対に相談に乗ってやるからな。
ありがとう相棒。
よし、行こうぜ。霧が深いな。リンコのやつ無事だといいんだが。
相棒？
And now we're seeing Aibo. We've just been calling him by his name before. Great. There's another one. Oh, there's multiples. Okay. Unknown area. And then as let me get that name. Yeah, Nox Lunesia or Lunesia has said it's not necessarily about hate, but it's about control and a lack of freedom, expectations, traditions, unwanted duties or roles, and general inequality. And, you know, if you're sitting there thinking like, well, it's not just women that have to deal with those. Yeah, that's right. These things do affect everybody. They don't affect everybody equally, but and it's not a simple, you know, unilateral power imbalance. Power structures are omnidirectional, back and forth in like a web. The field that's all misty is really scary. I keep thinking someone's there, but it's always just a scarecrow with a creepy face. But there's one scarecrow that's not actually scary. The only reason it's making a scary face is because it's got a thorn sticking into it and it's hurt. So all you have to do is take the thorn out and it'll tell you which way to go. But don't get too close to the really scary scarecrows. Someone said there's a monster who's only pretending to be a scarecrow and likes eating little kids.
影を抜いてって
Okay.
どういう意味？
There's a lot more of these things than there were a second ago. Can you even imagine how I feel? I'll put on my polite smile for now. All right, we got a sickle. A well-maintained tool for cutting grass. Easy to use, but I have some doubts about how long it will last. Okay. Guessing the range is not going to be as good. Okay. Did the note say the thorn was in its face? Where is that? Is it collectibles? Oh, there's like a little... I live in the small rural town of Ebisugaoka. Before the war, the town was lively due to an influx of people coming for the coal mines and dam construction going on in the northern mountains. After the dam construction finished, the coal mine closed down. It just became a sad little town. The grand iron bridge that connects this town to the nearby city is the only reminder of this sorry town's former glory. Chizuruya General Store. It might have started as a general store, but we've come to call it the candy store because half of what it sells are snacks and toys. This is where all the kids hang out. My friends and I used to meet up here, though we usually just sit outside and chat. Celluloid doll. It looks like a doll that I had when I was young. I don't have mine anymore, but there was a time when it felt like a friend to me. In my opinion, a doll is a toy for girls. Because of this, I always felt like my doll was telling me that I should act more like a girl when I was playing with it. One day, I was told by a girl that I couldn't play house with the other girls because I also hung out with the boys. From then on, I didn't want to play with the girls anymore, and so I threw the doll away. Space Wars. This is a game that Shu and I played together when we were kids. Basically, aliens, known as the Galactic Imperium, would arrive in UFOs in droves and we would fight them to protect the town. Playmates would come and go, we called them new recruits and fallen ones respectively, and in the end, Shu and I were the only ones left standing to combat the Galactic Imperium. Okay, so the game was just pretend. There was this one time when I played hide and seek with a bunch of my friends when I was young. I got so excited and ran far away because I didn't want anyone to find me, and eventually got lost around here. I was sobbing and hollering. I walked the wrong way for hours. Actually, I was told later that it was the exact opposite direction of my house. Even a town as small as this felt huge for me as a kid. I realized that I knew nothing about the town. Even these fields seemed to spread out endlessly to the horizon. Fog Town, Dark Shrine. What do we got here? A monster that appears to be lumps of flesh stitched together. It approaches with an unsettling smile when it catches sight of me. It's covered all over with sickening wounds. I wonder if it wants to hurt me the same way that it was hurt. A giant, repulsive lump of flesh that is filled to the brim with mechanical anger. It howls awfully as it swings its large knife in any direction. Its unfettered anger is no different from that of a wild animal. No, it's far worse than that. A monster restrained by chains and shackles. I wonder if it was imprisoned and tortured. It seems to be searching for me by sound rather than sight. I should be mindful of my footsteps. We've got our friends. Me, Shimizu Hinako. There's not a single extraordinary thing about me, except for maybe being tall for a girl my age. I used to be in the track and field club, which is probably why I'm better at sports than most girls. I guess I got used to running around a lot when I was a kid since I preferred playing with boys. I will admit I can be quite stubborn at times. I don't like accepting things that other people decide for me, even if it's the right thing to do. More than once I've rebelled and made the wrong decision, only to regret it later. Unlike my sister Junko, who was always the golden child, I've been a handful ever since I was little. My parents told me that I never listened to a single word they said. I'd make my mom cry and my dad furious. But Junko was always there for me. She understood me. She looked out for me. That's why I love my sister and have always done what she's asked of me. Or at least I've tried. She would smooth things out between me and my parents, which made life in that house a little bit more bearable. That is, until she got married, of course. Kimie, my mother. If I had to choose one word to describe her, it would be pitiful. She's the one who bears the brunt of my father's violent moods and malicious abuse. When I was younger, she used to protect me from him, so I didn't hate her back then. But maybe I do hate her now. Even as my father screams in her face, throws bowls at her, and sends her out for alcohol late at night, she remains ever loyal to him. I just cannot, will not, accept her way of life. Kanta, my father. When I first learned of the term patriarchal husband, and it meant a man who does nothing but boss his wife around, he was the first person who came to mind. Dad barely talks. He ignores me if I tell him good morning, but if I say nothing, he gets angry instead. And once he's angry, he just explodes. He loses all control over his emotions in the blink of an eye. He yells at Mom, throws things around, and even hits us. Why can't he act like that in public? Why does everyone else only get to see his quiet, calm side? If it meant that I wouldn't have to spend another second with him in that house, I'd happily let myself be taken away. Kinuta Junko, my older sister. She's one of the prettiest and kindest people I know, and there's nothing she can't do. I can rely on her for anything. Honestly, she's the greatest sister anyone could ask for. She's always been there for me, ever since the day I was born until she left to get married. Igarashi Sako. This is the girl who died when we left her in the candy store. One of my friends. She's always got her head up in the clouds and is a little strange. She's constantly trying to worm her way out of paying me back for the 500 yen I lent her that one time. Her father is the head priest in the Senensugi shrine in town. She seems to take pride in donning the traditional Miko robes and selling charms during the New Year celebrations. Iwai Shu? Shu's been my best friend since forever. He's my partner. We've been having playdates for as long as I can remember. When we played make-believe Space Wars, and we'd call each other partner. And for some reason, it just kind of stuck. Kids of the Showa era tend to look down on the other sex, but never Shu. When I rebelled against my parents because they told me to act like a girl, he was the one who understood my feelings the most and stood by me. Shu's always had a vast knowledge of plants and flowers, so his nickname came to be Professor Horticulture. He has so many aspirations for his future. He wants to be a gardener, herbalist, matsutake farmer, and a member of the Space Army. Shu comes from a long line of pharmacists, and his grandmother's still working as one. Following the war, a town doctor was finally able to open an actual practice. Before that, the Iwais were said to have been stand-in doctors. As Shu was a grandma's boy, he spent a lot of time learning about the various types of plants, flowers, and medicinal herbs. That seems to have sparked his interest in medicine, which eventually led to him learning first aid. It seems that he was interested in learning first aid because of his family lineage as pharmacists, and to fulfill his duty of being a member of the Space Army. Nishida Inko, one of my friends, she's really put together but can be a little inflexible in how she does things sometimes. Once she set her mind to something, that's it. And recently, that something seems to be clothes, fashion, and other womanly pursuits. Rinko once confessed to me that she had a crush on Shu. I told her that I was all for it, but if she can't get used to the idea of rolling around in the dirt and catching insects for fun, she might have a rough time. A mysterious man who wears a fox mask. He never takes it off, so I've yet to see his true self. He has such a refined air about him. I think he must come from a very well-off family. For whatever reasons, he seems to know me well and treats me kindly. He's almost like a prince from a fairy tale. In fact, this whole situation is like a story from a book. Who are you, and why are you leading me down this path? All right, that is all well and good. Where is the... What I wanted to know was regarding the scarecrows. It said one had a thorn in it. And that's the nice one. This one looks like she doesn't have a weapon, but I think they don't all have them. Like that one doesn't either, I think. And capsules. Yeah! That got me. Oh, that one has a knife stuck in her back. Can I take it out? Yes, I can. I think I have to deal with this thing before I... Two swing. All right. Let's get another look at our friend here. Whoop. I thought for sure that counted. Do we have anything to treat them? I don't think we do. Oh, maybe that's a clue that the one we need is smiling. I think multiples of them are smiling now. Switch back to the pipe here.
ずいな。武器が壊れそうだ。
Okay, so I can get close enough to examine them. You also have a smile. Boy, I wish I knew how to get back to the key items and documents. There we go. Serious note. Sticking... Okay, it doesn't say where the thorn is stuck. Let's see here. I guess we'll try this one, because it said polite smile and she's got a thorn. Nope. Okay. I ought to have known. Well, process of elimination, I guess. The note didn't specify the gender of the Scarecrow, so we could try the boy. There was only one boy, I think. But is there a pin? Yeah, there is. Nope. There's like no forward momentum on that strong attack. So it's okay, you're not smiling. You are. There we go. Okay. Flashcards. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid anymore. She points the way out. Thank you, terrifying monster. Yeah, there's definitely like some pretty obvious themes of like just normal teen stuff, you know, like thinking people are two-faced and backstabbing. I think something has gone wrong in Hinako's life that we don't quite know about yet, but oh boy. Alright. Let's see, is there another note or anything? Chocolate! Okay, we got another regular Scarecrow. Oh, they're moving around when the camera's off of them. Can you even imagine how I feel? What it's like to have been deceived by you for so long? Okay, so I think this time we are looking for one with two faces. Yeah, this one, it's doing the weeping angel thing, like we turn away. That's good. Very good. Alright, so I think based on that, oh god. Okay, we're gonna scoot a little bit away from them. I think it's maybe this one that's been backstabbed. That's what I'm going with. Ah! I didn't know they could get me while I was messing with the puzzle. Alright, let's try this one again. See if we can get it before they jump us. That did it. Okay. That's what I said to you when I saw you so scared. Okay, the third one. What do we got? What's the clue? Can you even imagine how I feel? He never once looked at me the way he looked at you. Not once. Alright. Who are you looking at? Let's try her. Nope. Alright. Who are you looking at? Maybe one that's not being looked at by any of the boys. Yep, that did it. Wonder why I called you over. Well, I mean, okay, so somebody says the note said she got lost here as a child, which implies the place was haunted since before the start of the game. That's the case in all the Silent Hill games. The kind of running theme in Silent Hill is that these places have kind of a latent supernatural power that comes out from time to time. Can you even imagine how I feel? You've always been such an eyesore. Okay, eyesore. Maybe this one? Nope. At least these enemies are pretty easy. They're a lot easier than the mannequins. Okay. You've always been such an eyesore.
まずいな。武器が壊れそうだ。
This one has like a crack going through her eye, I guess.
早く手当てしなきゃ。
Do any of them have pins in their eyes? Alright, so we've just got these 4 left. No, they regenerate, okay. Get out of here, stalker! Oh no. She got us! Can you imagine how I feel? You've always been such an eyesore. So all of them are looking at another one except this guy, maybe? No. Okay. Eyesore. One's looking at that one, that one's looking at this one's looking here. I feel like we've checked all 5 of these. This one's got the, like, the noticeable eye damage. There's something, is there some other piece of this puzzle that I'm not seeing? I'm also trying to like what could this have said in Japanese? You've always been such an eyesore. Maybe there will be... No. No clues there. Do I need to maybe do them in a certain order now? I've certainly done that one. This one's in the neck. I don't see anything unusual about the eyes. This one's in the side. Nothing unusual about the eyes. What is the Dofo show? What is the solution here? I feel like we've dragged things on enough here. So we have bandages now. We have to like kill them in a certain order. Closest to you, this one over here? Or closest to where I started? I feel like we did this one. Okay. I could have just lied to you, told you to go which way. Alright. Let's get out of this field. Somebody says, is it because the long-haired one is looking at her? And apparently that was the answer, but I don't get why the long-haired one was significant there. Oh, because the long-haired one has the mark on her eye. And she's looking at the... Okay. I feel like if I was editing this game, I would have been like, that's enough, Scarecrow puzzles. Can you even imagine how I feel? You hurt me and even hurt him too. Do you know how it feels to force a smile when I'm staring at that disgusting face of yours? Okay, so... Smiling and staring at a face. And there's a lot of them here now. Okay, so there are 2 that are hurt here. These 2 are both alive. So I'm gonna guess it's this one. Seems... Nope. Ooh, that was rough. Okay. 3 and then 4. Oh, there was a bit. Okay. Yeah, I would say if I had a critique of the game, it's that some of these puzzles overstay their welcome. Okay, smiling. Also, are we looking for me or you in that little phrase there? It's like you hurt me and you hurt him too. So there's 3 people involved. Okay, I think that's... I think this one's not part of the puzzle, or she is. Okay, so we checked her and it wasn't her. Is somebody smiling while looking at her? This one's not smiling. Like none of these are smiling. Fake smile, looking at her who is looking at him. Oh, maybe it's a mask clue. couple of masks here. But that's a boy. I think we're... I don't know, maybe this one? Nope. Two. All right. Fake smile. Hurts.
武器が壊れかけてる。もう少しだけ持ってくれ。
I guess maybe her. Nope. Yeah, the nature of this puzzle is also that it's a little too hard to figure out the answer even when you kind of know what it's asking you to do, which is... I feel like this is worse than the Shakespeare or the piano puzzle, for sure. Or rather, it's a better puzzle that has become more interminable. You hurt me and even hurt him too. How it feels to force a smile when I'm staring at that disgusting face of yours. So a girl is staring at another girl and smiling. This is like the only girl who's staring at another girl. That's the wrong one. Okay. You hurt me and you hurt him
武器が
too.
壊れかけてる。もう少しだけ持ってくれ。
It's this one, but she's not hurt. I guess this one is staring at the other one. Give it a go. That was it. Okay. Didn't have a smile or a mask on. Not the best clue. It happens all the time. A kid falling to their death in the waterway. Uh-oh.
Oi! Hinako!
あれさっきのは。
早く来いよ!
Somebody got drowned in the river.
Hinako!
リンコは。
読んでみよう。リンコ！俺だ！シュウだ！いるなら返事してくれ。
来てくれたんだ。あ、ひなこも無事でよかった。
怪我はないか？家族は？
私は大丈夫。でも誰もいないの。足の悪いおばあちゃんまでいないなんて、こんなの絶対に変。誰もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし、何が何だかわからないよ。 うして。
これ以上ここにとどまるのは危険だ。町を出た方がいい。
町を出るって、お父さんやお母さんは、みんなは。
助けを呼ぶためにも今は行動を急いだ方がいいかもしれない。
みんなを見捨てるわけじゃない。助けるためにも一度脱出する必要があるんだ。
でも町を出るって言ってもあれじゃ無理だよ。
無理ってどういう意味だ？
そっちの窓から鉄橋が見えるよ。霧が濃くなければ。
嘘だろ。
鉄橋が。どうしよう。
東の鉄橋がダメなら西の県道を目指そう。
柊の家の裏山を抜けるのか？
あの山越えられるの？
わさび田への道がある。うちだけの抜け道だ。リンコ、念のため薬や絆創膏を持っていきたい。
台所に救急箱あるよ。取ってくるね。
あ、私も一緒に行こう。手伝う。
相棒が一緒なら安心だ。
You need to borrow all of your family's metal pipes.
台所どこだっけ？私一体。
You biffed it, that's what happened. Got the knife.
いた。もう少し待っててくれてもいいのに。
Big old bridge maze. Just go ahead and walk the rest of the way.
誰？
Don't say Dade. It's just gonna be the monster guy. Mr. Fox guy, we're gonna take all your priceless treasures. Such as Yokon. There are valuable relics hidden away in the old storage room. They must be kept under lock and key. The last girl slipped in while I wasn't looking. It took a long time to find her. What do they mean, the last girl? I think I'm missing something. Okay. Search for the missing object part. Nice and specific. Can't go that way. Well, see, tripedal walking machine. We're in the spirit realm now, and we do not have steel pipes. We just have like a ceremonial knife that is not very good. Okay, there are 2 other rooms here. I'm not seeing any patrolling baddies. I need a key. Okay. Well, there's one other door all the way at the back. I'm just patrolling for baddies. Oinari-sama's emblem. There we go. Emma. Use it in Hokora to upgrade Hinako's ability. What ability? That's very vague. Where else can we even go? Ability to get confused by Scarecrow puzzles. Yeah, that's true. Place is ransacked. Wonder what that pretty little thing's chirps will sound like when I tear off that mask of hers. The girl before last was an exquisite specimen. I can barely contain myself every time I think about her. Okay. Just normal things in the spirit world. Did we miss any little things? I don't think so. I can think it's maybe down here on the other side of the bridge, but... Shriveled abura age. Fried tofu that became too hard and dry to be edible. Oinari-sama's favorite offering. Is this a stage? Oh, yeah. Since we're talking masks, I'm guessing there's gonna be a little no play or something. And it will surely be completely normal. There's a fox. Is there anything over this way? I don't see anything. Back at the entrance, maybe? Yeah, one of the things about me is that with me, it's always a no play, because I don't play because I'm 100% real no games. Okay, so we are... There must just be like a door up here that I didn't see. Map is not extremely helpful in this case. Let's see now. Search for the missing object part. Okay, that just doesn't open. Missing a key for the other door, and I don't believe we found one. I don't think there was anything among all of this. Oh, maybe here. Oh, okay. We missed this, I think. Oh, these bells and ink grinders and scrolls. Storage room key, okay. Love it. Oh, and there's a shrine. You can use a blank Ema and Faith to pray at a Hokora and increase your max health, stamina, and sanity. You can also increase the number of Omamori you can equip at the same time. Let's pray. Okay, we need more faith for any of this. Let's offer things. We've got Abura Age, we've got Yokan, we've got Divine Water. We'll offer the Ramune too because that gives us an even 700. I think health, for sure. Doesn't look like it's that much more, though. Door with the rectangle on it on the map, someone says. Is that the locked door? Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you. Guy wears all white, but all I see are red flags. Very good, very good. Yep, this is the first playthrough. I don't really know anything about this game other than it's Silent Hill and I played all the other ones. Actually, that's not true. I didn't play the PS3 ones and stuff. I played all the PS1 and PS2, the first 4. Don't believe the fox's words. Stay away from the western room. A warning. Hinako is mine. Her fingers, her lips, every last drop of blood that can be squeezed from her is mine. I forbid anyone from laying so much as a finger on her. I shall say it until my throat is raw. Hinako is mine. Normal things to find in a... Stay away from the western room. Is that this room?
あそこ空いてたっけ?
It sure was. Look, you know I'm gonna go in there. Yeah, does the journal say how old Hinako is? I know she's in school. Nope. What do we got here? You always love it when you go to a guy's house and he's got a bunch of pictures of women with the faces cut off or blotted out. You know? That's always really, Oh, this is the other girl. This is the missing girl. She has the brown polka dot scarf and the long skirt. And these seem like they are older and older outfits. Don't trust him. Okay. Seems like sound advice, honestly. Inari sculpture. A sculpture in the image of the god Inari. It looks like it might fit somewhere. Okay. Just need to go up there. I assume shit's gonna get real in like 5 minutes. Well, no, we actually got all the way to the place to put the key item. Naginata. Give me that. All right then. Oh, we lost our lantern. Okay, that's fine. That's a good trade, yeah. Gotta leave a message, like in,
大事なものだと思うけど。すいません。お借りします。
like in Die Hard. 今はナギナタがあります。What's up, what's up? So if you haven't caught up, we've determined that the god Inari has been giving girls yeah, Discord Nitro subscriptions, and they've been disappearing. Journal. Characters. Junko. So Junko was wearing one of those wedding kimono. So yeah, that's a little bit worrying. Like, what if Inari got her?
Ya っと着いた
There's stuff over there. I'm sure this door's locked.
ダメだ開かない
Okay, need to find the other key.
ひなここっちだよ
サクコ
Yeah, the game is fun. It's I don't think any Silent Hill game has ever been perfect, but it's definitely creepy in kind of novel ways. That was on me for mistiming all of that.
死ねない
Yeah. 500 yen now is like $3. I think at the time it probably would have been closer to 20, but it's not a lot of money. Omamori Hawk greatly decreases focus charging time.
使えそう
Little divine water. Oh, okay. If you want to talk Dark Souls, I horizontal power attack clipped on the wall.
ひなここっちだよ
サクコ
But yeah, I think it's very weird to me that people keep saying Dark Souls just because there's third-person combat. Like, all of the other Silent Hill games also have third-person combat.
あっち行け
Clang. That thing was too big to be called a Naginata. Far too heavy. It was more like a lump of iron.
何かに使えそう
Hinako! Kochida! I don't think the combat is anything like Bloodborne at all. Like that, I don't get where people are getting that. Like, like have those games just like so badly poisoned the discourse around video games that like, so like in the 90s, people would call any first-person shooter a Doom clone. Like, have we returned to those days? Can't you just call it a third-person action game? Because, like, the things that define the Dark Souls kind of genre that it... Sorry, the thing that defined the Dark Souls genre is that you have sort of runbacks, you have souls, you have, you know, some form of experience or currency that you drop when you die, and you can run back and get it. Checkpoint, you know, progression based around checkpoint unlocks.
ショコ
The combat was very slow and methodical, especially in the first game, which is something I think that has been forgotten by the series. There can be no two ways about it. The family is indeed cursed. And I am the only one who knows the full story. I must tell the master all I know, for if I do not, the curse will certainly befall me as well. May the gods have mercy on me. Okay. Wolfenstein did indeed come before Doom. But Doom was the one that had the market penetration. Like, every computer... So when I was a kid, my grandma gave my family our first PC. And she was talking about, like, oh, you know, you need a computer because it has all these things. And this was, like, you know, before anybody even really had the internet going. And she's, like, talking about all the things that are on the computer. And she points out that the Doom Episode 1, like, demo that was, like, the shareware version of the game. And she was like, this was an old lady, and she was like, oh, you know, and it's terrible, but I love playing this. And, you know, you go around and he's got this big old grin on his face while you're shooting the machine gun. And it's like, okay, grandma. But, like, that was how big it was. It was like, it wasn't like, numbers wise, it wasn't like Fortnite where it was just this inescapable cultural phenomenon, but it was, you could compare it to that in the sense that, like, everybody who had a computer knew what Doom was. Symptoms are onset as follows. Okay, so this is 15 days before the other note. Headache, fever, vertigo, chills, vomiting, diarrhea. At first, I believed the signs pointed to a seasonal cold. However, after prescribing medicine, symptoms did not improve. In fact, they worsened. Yeah, Doom also had... I mean, it had everything. It had, like, the heavy metal music was really fun. It just had the vibe. It was something that in the first few seconds of gameplay, you could understand everything that it was. And it just felt really crunchy and visceral in a way that like, PC games really hadn't before. Even compared to Wolfenstein, like, the sound design and the kind of speed of it were just much stronger.
サクコサクコなの
Ketchi says we had fewer games, but they were straight up awesome. I do want to point out, there were a lot of really bad games back then. Just a lot of forgettable garbage. But it wasn't like, it was forgettable garbage being made like by like some guy. You know, it wasn't like a mega corporation, you know, having 15,000 slaves put out a $4 billion game and it's just like, Forspoken or something. Outside. I'll continue to poke you until you turn into ash. Sideways moving past things made me think of Outlast and the anxiety just watching. There's some Outlast here. I think that actually DNA is coming from Resident Evil 4. So Resident Evil 1 and 2 when I was a kid, they were very scary. Just because, like, I don't know, the idea that, like, if in the next room there might be a zombie, somehow that was terrifying, even though, like, it's just a fucking zombie, like, who cares? But I think they knew that by the time they started developing 4. We need to figure out which way we're going before we get stuck. Hayaku! I can't Hayaku, the fucking game is in the way. Okay, that was slick. No, not like this. Thought I had her. So, when Resident Evil 4 came out, it ditched the... Like, it has, like, horror tones, but it's not effective as a horror game in the same way because it's kind of conscious of how ridiculous it all is. You know, you have, like, Leon doing, like, huge backflip kicks to, like, knock people's heads off. But what it does do is it trades the, like, the genuine fear for, like, the stress of a situation running out of control. And you really see that very well in the first couple of big fights where, you know, you're in the village and there are too many guys to deal with and you're, like, kind of running around trying to navigate around to find, like, safe places to shoot them from. I really donked that. And, you know, you start killing 1 or 2, and you begin to feel like you have control of the situation, and then, like, a bell rings, and 100 more guys come out, you know? And just when you thought you kind of had it, it gets so much worse. You know, and then in the distance, when you're fighting for your life, you can hear somebody revving up a chainsaw. And, that became, like, the dominant mode of survival horror gameplay instantly. Oh, there's this here. Research notes on Emi Jugonroku. The wish to have one's romantic desires fulfilled is as old as humanity itself. Consequently, there have existed many arts by which people attempt to make such dreams come true. One method was to employ a sorcerer, known as Jugonshi, to perform an incantation written in the Enmi Jugonroku. After such spells were suspected of causing chaos and turmoil in the imperial court, their practice was expressly forbidden under the Yoro Code in the first year of the Tempyo Hoji era, 757 AD. However, these incantations were later adopted into the practice of Onmyoto, where their effects continued to be studied. According to multiple sources, powerful romantic spells that have been successfully cast are often accompanied by the scent of sandalwood. Yeah, there's no rolling. It's not Dark Souls. Okay, I just kind of have to... She, like, matrix dodged that. That's death. She missed her grab, but I was out of stamina, so we were both just standing there exhausted. Get out of here. Yeah, so, you know, and then in Outlast, that was kind of after Amnesia, where you had the whole era of, you know, horror games where you can't fight back. But those continue to use, I think, those continue to use the idea that, like, you know, you can just mount the pressure by kind of boxing the player in and making the situation more and more stressful, without, you know, necessarily making the enemies too capable. Because if you're jumping around like Bayonetta or something, you just can't, you can't lean on like a sense of like lack of agency or a, you know, a genuine believability of the horror scenario. Yeah, let's get a mod where instead of the dodge, Hinako does like a fat roll. That'd be good. I was never a fan of Amnesia, but I thought the getting that one's there. I thought the newer game was cool in the ways that you like can kind of fight back against the monster. You just can't like permanently defeat it, and the idea that there's just this one thing you're dealing with the entire time. The bunker. Oh, I thought I was out of her way. Well, I think that might be a good enough point to leave off. I just walk into a wall 10 times. It is a good animation. I like these designs. Yeah, I think we'll pick this up in a day or two. I'm definitely enjoying the game. You can always watch the VOD, Sterling. Arhis Bronwyn asks, wouldn't a spear indoors be a tad impractical? So the Naginata is a weapon that was designed for fighting indoors or on like estate grounds. It's not quite as long as a proper spear, and the fact that the blade has that curve and it's quite long, the blade itself, means you can kind of use it in environments where it would be not conducive to using a big long spear. And they actually became important weapons for women because I can't remember if this started during the Heian era or after, but it became expected that like a samurai's wife would be willing to lay down her house to protect her life, to protect the household if the place got attacked while he was out. And so, you know, women would train in the use of naginata. And so it's not necessarily a women's weapon, but it has a strong association with like female fighters. Yeah, and other Jake says if you watch the animation closely, Hinako actually accounts for holding it indoors, and yeah, she does like really choke up on it. But obviously it's not ideal to go swinging it around like a baseball bat like I'm doing. Because you'll hit the pillar and then get stuck, and then yeah, Japan is pretty cool. All right, I'll see you later, everybody. Thanks for dropping in.